Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 208 of the original Batman on Film podcast. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Jet Ramey. Usually not the host, and actually I'm not hosting this episode. That will be Ryan Lauer. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Stephen Cook, founder of TCG Enterprises, who has partnered with Warner Brothers Discovery for a new series of concerts combined with film called DC in Concert. First up is The Batman in Concert. It is the first film to debut for DC in Concert, an all-new global touring film concert series featuring a live symphony orchestra performing to picture every note from fan-favorite blockbuster films from Warner Brothers Pictures and DC. For more information, go to dcfilmsinconcert.com. So, let's move on to the interview with Mr. Cook. So here's Ryan.
All right, joining me now is Stephen Cook with TCG Entertainment. And Stephen, thanks for coming aboard.
Sure, happy to talk with you.
Yeah, can you go ahead and just explain what's your position with the Batman in Concert?
So I have a company called TCG Entertainment. We are the leaders, producers of live entertainment touring. We have many shows, including Cirque Musica. We have multiple units of that. We have a lot of symphonic shows, like a Night of Symphonic Rock and Rewind. We have Rocky in Concert, Legally Blonde in Concert, Master Chef, and lots of others. And so for the DC Films in Concert, that is a relatively new project that we are working with Warner Brothers on to bring these films to live audiences.
And how has the response been? I guess, how many shows have you done for the Batman in Concert thus far?
So we've done probably half a dozen. We started in Europe in March. We debuted in London, Paris, Zurich, and then we were over in LA a few weeks ago, Washington, D.C., and we have Miami coming up, Chicago. We have some others that I don't know have been announced yet, but we have others coming. So it's been great. You know, I think it's what we hoped it would be, but it's been a very good reaction to the product.
That was actually going to be my next question was, how has the reaction been? And so far, it just sounds like it's going great.
You know, I think with COVID and everything, if you look about how people just didn't have shared experiences for a few years, and what I noticed is having the shared experience of having, 2,000-3,000 people in one space watching a movie, and just the reactions and the communal environment is there. And with the music, live music, it just adds such a more sensory element to it because you're watching them play it, you're hearing it crystal clear, and it just works, And so it's interesting, towards the end of the first half. When the Batmobile debuts, comes up, everyone's just going nuts. Everyone's cheering and screaming, and at the end, where the Penguin, this car flips over, and then Batman walks up and looks down at him like that. That's a moment, and there's quite a few of those in this movie. It's really great.
Yeah, a lot of great moments. I actually got to witness for the first time a Jurassic Park in concert just last year. And that was the first time I'd ever attended something like this either. And yeah, the audience participation was really into it. It also helps that when movies are, really beloved. But this is sort of, kind of a new type of experience, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, what we're doing with Warner Brothers on this, this is a big deal partnership. We have multiple films with them. Our focus has been on Batman 1989, the original Batman. We debuted that in Rochester a few months ago. We're going to be doing a lot more of those coming up for the 35th anniversary, which is next year. We have the Batman, which we're out with now. We're working on the Flash, on getting some shows out with that when that movie comes out in the summer, and then we also have the rights to Aquaman 2 later this year. So, among others. So this will be multiple films is the goal, and we're going to be doing shows all over the place, not only in America, but we've got offers in Asia and Europe, and I think what it does, it just takes these films to a different place in terms of bringing them to the live audiences, and it's a whole experience. It's whole experiential. When you walk in, we have signage and step over pieces so people take pictures. We have exclusive merchandise that you can only get at the show, and that's been interesting. Like that's been really, really in demand.
A bit of like exclusivity. So I'm actually going to be attending the Chicago show next week.
Great.
Is there anything you can kind of tip me off on what I could expect to buy that I can only buy there?
Sure, it was a couple things. I mean, all the soft goods like T-shirts, we have short sleeve, long sleeve T-shirts, we have hats and beanies, and all stuff with Batman in concert. Those are the things. But we also have posters. The show, the conductor comes out and signs them, and that's been a big hit. That we're having. I mean, in LA, I bet we had probably 500 people in line to get autographs because you can't get anywhere else. And I think that's the kind of neat stuff that we have, and people have really liked it. So I would encourage anyone, listening to come early and definitely do it before the show because the lines are really, we were trying our best, but the lines have been really long after the show. So we want to try to take care of everybody we can.
So one of the main things with expanding, I guess, to doing movies live, it does create a more, it expands a theater experience of, blending movies and orchestras. And I guess what are the benefits of, offering more diverse kinds of concerts like this?
So, I've worked in the orchestra industry for many, many years. And I think the reality is that the orchestras, to get this music, for them to experience that they want different types. And that it has been said that these film scores that these composers are putting out over the last, 10, 20 years, like that is today's classical music. 100 years, there's a thought that this is what they're going to be talking about, the repertoire, because it's so good, and it's so big and just, it's just really, really good. And so I think that what we're seeing, the audiences that we're bringing to this hall is like, this is what the orchestra is, and the things that's what they want. It's a younger audience, and it's what that DC audience is, and I think that's a very attractive audience for orchestras, and for people wanting to bring different people into the hall. And what's cute, you're seeing everything from like people show up in Batman t-shirts to suits and ties and formal dresses, like literally everything in between, and that's great. It's whatever experience they want, they can have.
That's funny that you mentioned that because, of course, me being such a big Batman fan, anybody listening to this being a big Batman fan, I think you would question your wardrobe of, well, I'm going to a theater, so I think I need to look nice, but I have to put some Batman flair in there too. So,
we have at least 3 or 4 people in full costume every show.
Excellent.
I'm talking full on. We had a couple of Supermans come, and I'm like, I think you got the wrong place.
Wrong movie, but they're allies. Sure.
Whatever. Come on. But no, it's. I'm seeing a lot of like black shirts and suits with red ties or just all that. But it's great. It's like whatever you want.
For your personal experience, you find that all of this has been very rewarding, just even on a human level.
Yeah, we're doing what we do. We're one of the biggest in the live entertainment space. When you create something, and these projects take years to put together, and when you see them happen, and you see people come, and show up, and then enjoy it, like that's very, very rewarding to us, and we do not take that for granted. That people are spending their time, they're spending their money, to come do this versus something else, and we have to deliver, what's on that stage to make sure it's worth it for them, and we do, and I think that everyone takes pride in that, the whole team, because this is a team. We have production people, we have merch people, and conductors, and everything else, and so it takes a bunch of people to put this on.
So for you, Are you sick of watching the Batman?
No, I like, I'll tell you, because that's sort of the beauty of live entertainment. It's always different.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit different, and I hear different things. I hear different sound effects. I'll ask the conductor, like, intermission. I'm like, what about that? Like, is that me? Or he's like, no, this player did this that way, or whatever it is. So it's always a little bit different. And we have, what I'm seeing is we're having people, see it multiple times. I mean, I remember I was talking in Paris to people that travel from Italy to see it. So people are traveling from all over to see this. And that's really neat as well. Okay,
so did you say that there's possibly more The Batman in Concert shows to be announced down the road?
Coming, but the orchestras haven't announced it yet. But yeah, I envision we'll have more of these. So we'll have more of not only this, but Batman 1989. And I'm really hopeful about The Flash. We're hearing from a couple things from our people that we work with them, Warner Brothers. Like they've said, it's the best superhero movie ever. Like that's what they're saying about this movie, The Flash.
Yeah.
And we're hearing that over and over again, which is very exciting. And then when we run the trailer before the concert, and as soon as that scene in the trailer where Michael Keaton comes out and says, "I'm Batman," people just lose their mind. They just lose it. I think that we're really excited about that one. I mean, we're excited about all of them, but I think that one's going to be really, really neat. We're doing the concert 2 months after the movie's released, so you can see it right then. Even with the Batman, I mean, the Batman's only been out for a year or two. We're doing these right away, and that's really cool.
I really imagine that the 1989 Batman movie is going to be big as well because of everything's kind of adding up. Of like, there's an anniversary next year, Keaton's back this year, and plus it's just a beloved movie for fans, especially with that score.
Yes. Yeah, the score's great. The score's great on this one. The scores are good on all these. I mean, we looked at all of them. They're all really good music. That's all we're doing.
And lastly, I know that Bill, who runs Batman on Film, he wants to know if there's anything you can do, since you two are only a half hour apart in Texas, if you can just somehow add a show in Texas. He'd love to be there for that. Right in his backyard. He'll cook you gumbo.
Just tell him it is being worked on.
All right. Okay. No, fair enough. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you anymore. You're very, very busy these days. So I just want to say thanks for taking the time and talking about the Batman in Concert. I can't wait to watch it next week.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve.
You have been listening to the official podcast of the one and only Batman on Film website. On Twitter, follow BOF at Batman on Film and the Batman Podcast Network at BatPod Network. For Jet and everyone at Batman on Film, I'm announcer Rachel. Thanks for listening to the authoritative, definitive, the original Batman on Film.